Also, Jacob, you say hi first, and Brad. And then I'm gonna start the stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I am your host, as always, Nick Merdante, and with me today, I have two, I can count, lovely guests.
Ooh.
If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
I don't have a bit. I'm Jacob.
Hi, I'm Brad. I miss when Dogecoin was popular.
Thank you for not having bits today. Dogecoin is popular though, or at least it's popular in the sense of it being unpopular, because everybody decided that fucking what's his name, Elon Musk showing up on Saturday Night Live was gonna boost it to the moon.
Have you seen the fucking graph of that? It's so funny. It's like the second Saturday Night Live starts, it falls like 20 cents.
Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can pull up the
Someone
Dogecoin.
mapped out like what happened in the episode along with the price of Dogecoin, and I find it really funny. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. I'm seeing if I can look at some charts right now.
I mean, it does feel weird, like, but like that's the problem. Look,
Oh, here it is.
I've been on this podcast before. I've talked about cryptocurrency and how it's all a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But like there are people out there who are like, guys, a Dogecoin isn't even really a currency, and it's the same people who are like, oh yeah, so my Bitcoin portfolio was fucking huge, and I'm like, dog, Dogecoin and Bitcoin suffer from similar they're literally like, the news will be like, Dogecoin, a fake currency, and I'm like, yeah, but you're fucking sucking Bitcoin stick right now just because it's worth a lot of money, and in actuality, Bitcoin's not worth jack. Like, hate to be that guy, but
I can't believe you're being that guy, Jacob. How fucked of you.
The true value of the currency is nothing.
Right. Especially because you can just continue to mine it indefinitely. It doesn't have a cap.
Yes.
So but they did say it was impossible for it to get to 50 cents, and look where we are. So
exactly, but like that's the thing. Like we've talked about this before. It's the same thing as the tulip. I mean, but it's not even the tulip thing, because at least the tulip craze was like based off an actual fucking like tulip. Like that's a physical
right. It was
object.
something tangible you could have. This is kind of just like you have an idea.
It's paying you for the math that you've done on your graphics processor.
It's paying you for the math that you did on the graphics processor, and you're like, but why?
But what does the math do? And then people just kind of raise
like that's the thing, is like people are like, but the US uses a fiat currency, and isn't fiat like not backed by anything? And I'm like, no, it is backed by something. It's backed by the US fucking government.
It's backed by faith in the US government.
Is worth based off of your belief that tomorrow the US government will continue to exist and say, yes, the currency that we print is still something we accept as payment. Like,
but what if I believe in Bitcoin more than I believe in the continued existence of the United States government?
Hey man,
Jacob?
you're welcome to do that.
Right now. That's what's happening. Your belief is what drives up the price of Bitcoin. People's belief that Bitcoin will increase is what drives Bitcoin prices up. It's the same thing that drives Dogecoin prices up.
An asset is worth what people are willing to pay for it.
Yes. Yeah. It's supply and demand. But at least when you have, like, you know, stock or something, you own something somewhat physical. Like when you trade in commodities, you own something physical. But this is literally not owning anything physical. Mm-hmm. This is owning a fake currency that is on, like, it's literally like you opened up fucking Cookie Clicker, and someone was like, Cookie Clicker cookies are now worth currency. If you give me your Cookie Clicker cookies, that is worth.
They're each worth 0.0001 of a cent.
Right, and specifically, it is being compared to and is worth something in US dollars, right?
Yes.
Like it's you
can
at the
trade...
end of the day, you are going back to the US dollar as the comparison currency.
Yes.
So
correct,
like,
yeah.
You know, or
that being said, dude,
other legitimate currency, like
I love Dogecoin. I'm invested in it.
Sure, if you can make some money off of it's great. I just, you know, I think I have to agree that, like, you know, down the line, I don't think it's going to outlast the United States government.
No, I don't think it makes it past the US dollar.
Yeah. Probably.
I mean, actually, it could get more valuable than a U.S. dollar. It could breach $1.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be the united currency of the universe, as I believe it was being called.
Yeah.
One of the Well, the worst part is, don't even get me fucking started on that. Oh my god. These people are like, one world currency, and then they're like deregulated one world currency, and you're like, oh my god. Do you not like? I understand. I'm probably the only one in this call who's taken a monetary policy class, but like, come on, like, can you?
I don't know. Brad did finance. He might.
Yeah,
have taken that
I don't
class.
think I took any particularly focused on monetary policy. It was touched on, but I don't think there were any classes that was the primary focus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the class where like we had like an entire cryptocurrency section because we were talking about like, hey, what about like it's monetary policy, so it's about money. And so there's a section about like, oh hey, like what about these other types of money? And it was going into like touching a little bit on the stock market and all that. I mean, it's a monetary policy class, so it's not necessarily technically about the stock market, but you still have to touch on it.
Yeah.
And it's talking about like how
Piece of the puzzle.
it's based off of your decisions in the stock market, or a rational player would make it based off the decisions of other people, and the allotted worth you assume the thing you're buying into is. So if you assume the allotted worth of something like a stock is lower than it should be, then you are buying into it with the belief that it is going up, and so far. I mean, in actuality, I think they made the argument of like, if everyone was I mean, this might be my thinking, but like, if everyone is a rational actor in the stock market, the prices would all just flatten out eventually. Like,
right, because everything would have its intrinsic value that they'd pay for it.
Yeah, everyone would figure out, hey, this is with perfect information. You would be able to
That's
figure
the key,
out the exact value of the thing, and it would just sit there, and you like, but that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that makes me upset when people are like, the stock market is about investing in company. And it's like, no, it's not. It's about profit motive and making as much money without doing any like actual labor.
Yeah.
Like that's what it currently is about. Because if it was about, I want to invest in this company, if the stock price didn't go up, you would still feel good about your investment because you put money into your investment, and eventually the investment will pay off with either something better for you or with dividends or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's about.
The product would get better, hopefully, by your
the product would get better.
Or...
Yeah, exactly. Those types of things. But it's not. It's about buy, sell, make sure to buy low, sell high. Like, that's
buy high, sell low.
Yeah.
Buy high, sell low. Exactly.
Big brain plays.
I don't know. It's one of these things where like, one of the first economic concepts I was ever taught, which I know this concept is going to be very different compared to other economists, but it was literally like, people who are paycheck collectors, which not paycheck collectors, but it was like mailbox collectors, where it was like, the money you get is from going out, like the labor you do in order to get your paycheck basically is walking out to your mailbox and picking up the check from your stock portfolio. Like, that concept was like, they were like, yeah, that is literally the least constructive to the economy way in order to earn money, because you're not producing anything of value.
Yeah.
For the most part. Now, I understand. I'm going to say that, and a lot of people are going to be like, Jacob, but they're stimulating the economy through investments. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. If it was real, like, if I don't know, it was, oh my god, I fucking nutted
Set him off.
when Joe Biden came out, and he was like, he was talking about like his like recovery plans and all that, and he was talking about how he literally said, hey, remember that time we gave corporations tax cuts and all they did was not invest in their companies, but instead bought back their stock? And now the boys down on good old Wall Street will say like, buying back your stock is actually investing in your company because it raises the stock price, and also you're technically buying up parts of the company and you're saying that you believe your company is going to succeed in the future. And I'm like, that's
what
fucking
does
bullshit.
It actually do?
And the point of it is to raise the stock price so that you were buying back lowering, and you can lower the amount of shares available in the market, and thereby you can then raise the stock price and your pocketbooks expand exponentially. Shut the fuck up.
Oh man. Yeah.
I do like the new thing that's kind of emerged in that the general public can kind of just decide they want something to be worth money, and then everyone invests in it until it is.
Yeah.
I find that really funny.
And that's why when the GME stuff was coming out, a lot of people were like, they were talking about like, oh, democratizing the stock market and all that, and like the little guys have finally that. And I'm like, I mean, sure, maybe that can be your takeaway for you, but my takeaway is yes, we finally have the perfect case study showing people no, it's fucking like there's so much shit that like these fucking financial advisors and other people do that are like, you silly little kids, you wouldn't understand the complex inner workings of the stock market. You guys don't know the fundamentals. And I'm like, the fundamentals of the stock market, it's a fucking supply and demand graph. Like, yes, there are more complicated aspects about that, but at its very base form, it's a supply and demand graph. Oh, is demand for the stock higher than the supply? The price goes up. Is the supply greater than the demand, as in no one is buying the stock? Congratulations, the stock goes down. Like,
That's
I
it.
think you can sum a lot of things up into just supply and demand.
it's true, but the problem is that what I'm saying is that there are financial people out there who don't want to admit that it's literally like it can be simplified down that much. That it's just
Mm.
like, no, dude, like a stock price goes up when more people want to buy the stock, and they like it's literally like the stock mentality. Like,
We
I
like
don't
the
know,
stock.
it's one of these things where like, guys, the fundamentals just aren't there. And I'm like, dog, the stock price has gone up. Like the average stock price has gone up for the last 2 years, while we are both encountering what I think could be potentially an economic bubble, and also a literal the pandemic has shut down most businesses, and people are literally dying in the streets. And they're like, I don't know, seems like great economic conditions to me. Let's get that number up, baby. And I'm like, your belief is that the companies will continue to make money even when they're not making money. Like,
In the
also,
moment.
that's the other thing that makes me so upset. It's like a company does not have to make money to have a good stock price. They're like, no, the fundamentals are there, and it's like, no, dude, it is literally belief. The company is losing money, and you just believe that they will make money in the future, and that is why you continue to pour money into this, and other people pour money into this
It's
Yeah.
kind
because
of a
you
self-fulfilling
believe that other
prophecy, though, isn't it? Is that
yes,
like if
exactly.
you believe a company's going to make money and you invest in it, they will make
They
money
will hopefully
off of
eventually
that.
make money before they file for bankruptcy. That is the
Yes.
play that people are making. And that's the play people made with GameStop. That's just like we want
GameStop
stocks
is
to go up.
still worth $160. It was worth like 20
Exactly.
bucks.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
crazy.
is the evaluation on GameStop real? Probably not. But guess what? Enough people believe that it's real, and so that is where it's at. Like that, like at the end of the day, a lot of the stock market evaluations are based on belief.
Yeah.
You can who knows? Maybe tomorrow a meteor will fucking strike like Bank of America.
Every single Bank of America location destroyed.
Every single Bank of America location is transported into the fucking zero dimension. You couldn't account for that, but you believe that it wouldn't happen. I understand maybe that's like an extreme point, and maybe it's like wrong for me to say that, but like to some extent, there is belief in like it's the same shit I get upset about economists where they're like, economics is actually supposed to be an exact science. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Social science plays such a big role in economics. You cannot physically account for everyone's individual demand graph because
But yeah,
you
because
don't
going
you don't have access to every human being, and B, like even if you did, those would change constantly,
yeah.
and information is variable. Like
And like to go back to what you guys were, I remember what I was gonna say earlier was like the argument about figuring out the intrinsic value of any product is literally impossible in like a real world scenario where like you guys are talking about like perfect information, everybody will know the true intrinsic value, but like in the real world everybody assigns a different amount of value to literally everything
yeah,
just by
that's your demand curve. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so like you cannot possibly, try to assign one definite value to anything, and so then you're just playing a like you said a
There's also
sociology
like,
game of like what
yeah.
different groups of people are going to assign to different products and all that type
Yeah,
of stuff.
like but look, I don't want to like completely get rid of like economics can do a lot with mathematics,
Hmm.
because like yeah, we've like good economists will think about things like externalities and information asymmetry. Externalities is anything outside of your standard supply and demand graph. So, like, let's say you have a coal plant. The coal plant would produce a negative externality because it is, shooting coal out into the air. Uh,
What?
and so an externality would be something like, oh yeah, okay, people have a certain demand for coal, but like
They don't demand it in the
they
air.
don't, yeah, they don't want, or like electricity, but that demand curve is going to shift if someone tells them, yeah, but it will literally kill you.
Mhm.
So that kind of thing. Or like not even that, like, hey, individually, maybe this is what people are willing to pay, but societally, that like individual demand and societal demand could be at two different spots, and use taxes in order to affect those negative externalities, et
Mhm.
cetera, et
That
cetera.
that
Information
societal thing.
asymmetry. Oh yeah, continue.
That
Sorry.
I'll bring it up once you're done with your topic. But I do have something I want to bring up on that societal topic
Yeah.
after you're done.
Information asymmetry is just the topic of imperfect information across the marketplace. Where, hey, did you know that if you're selling something, you probably have more information about the thing you're selling than the buyer does?
Mhm.
And even then, there are some things that you just can't account for that. Like, they're like, I can't remember the exact term, but it's like post use good or something like that, where like you can only know the value of a good after you've had it. So like a common example is like healthcare.
Yeah.
You don't know the exact value of the operation you're going to get until after the operation.
Yeah. And you can't
Uh,
you can't possibly know how much you're going to spend in a year on medical expenses until after the year's done and you've
yeah.
lived your life for a year.
Exactly.
And then
You
gotten it.
you
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
cannot determine, oh, me buying this Advil now, is that actually worth it? Because you don't know if tomorrow your brain will feel like it's fucking splitting open.
Yeah. It might, so you buy it as a precaution, but you don't
Yeah.
know for sure. And then maybe your head doesn't split open for the next years, and then you're fine. But yeah, like I bought fucking when I got my was about to get my second dose of the vaccine. You know, I got some Tylenol in preparation just in case. I didn't know if I was gonna be hurting a lot after I got the shot. I was, so I'm glad I got the Tylenol. But like, that's the
Yeah,
same thing as like maybe it wouldn't have done anything. So yeah.
I ibuprofen very much needed for my second shot experience. My second shot experience was like, ooh, headache.
Yeah, I was basically like cold sweating, shivering and just aching all fucking
Oh, me
over
too.
for the entire
Yeah.
I
day.
got I got the headache. I got the I felt like warm
Mhm.
and like kind of like you're outside and on like a humid day. That's how I felt,
Mm.
and just tired.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got. The first round, I got a nice little side effect that was pretty rare.
Oh.
It's happened to me before, so I wasn't too surprised. But I got like that chemical taste in your mouth,
What the
and I could just
fuck?
like taste like the chemicals of
Yeah.
the vaccine that were in my system. I didn't like it. It went away after like a couple hours, but it wasn't very tasty.
Oh, that's wild. I never heard of
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was like, I had gotten it earlier. I had gotten a CAT scan done,
Hmm.
and I got the same thing. They told me that was probably going to happen, so I recognized it as that because I had already experienced it. And then I looked it up. Right, I was like, how many other people had this? And it was like, this is a very rare side effect. Like, out of all the millions of people that have gotten the vaccine, only like a couple hundred have gotten that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was like, wow,
But you've had it
lucky
with other
me.
things, so I'm
Mhm.
sure that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Something about the biology of it. You were gonna say, Brad, about sociology.
Yeah, this
you're
also
gonna
ties
talk about
into
how we live in
COVID.
a society.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and the CDC recently announced that if you're vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask in most places.
Hmm.
And I think the goal is, get people who don't want to get vaccinated to get vaccinated so they don't have to wear a mask anymore. We're not going to touch on that point yet, but what I did want to bring up is, I've spoken to some of my friends and myself personally. I don't know if I'm ready to go back to life without the mask just yet. I mean, knowing how
Yeah, well, no
things
one cared
are.
about us until we put on the mask. That's all I got.
So now I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were saying that everyone has that personal level where they're comfortable, where they're like, okay, I'm ready to take off the mask now. And at some point, we as a society are going to be like, all right, it's time for everyone to take their masks off again. And it was just something I was thinking about, like, at what point will we be reaching that level? Because personally, me and the guy I were speaking to, we weren't ready yet to be there. But
I
at
don't
some point, we're going to
know.
deem it as normal to have them back off again.
I will
I don't know.
be. I'll say I think it's going to be interesting to see if that happens, when it will happen, because like there's a lot of people who are fucking sick and tired of the mask shit, and I think generally, I guess I'd agree that like I would prefer to not have to wear a mask
Exist
anymore.
without a cloth mask
but
on your face.
but
Yeah.
like also I feel like in the future when I go grocery shopping, I might just throw on a mask just while I'm out there. Like I don't know.
Yes,
Like
we should do more mask-based things. There's a lot of things I disagree with in Japanese society, but this is I only point out Japan because this is the one I've seen the most of it, and I'm sure it happens elsewhere. I don't mean to burst outstage. I don't want to sound like cringe, but I just wanted to say that's where I see it the most. So I was only putting it out. This is my largest disagreement. Please ignore me. But like I don't know. The underlying problem in Japanese society is that they do that because they're like, well, I have to go and do all my work or school and ignore
Right,
that
it's a
I'm
very
sick.
work-focused society.
even when I have pneumonia,
ignoring that
out.
part of it, ignoring that really bad side effect of it, I think hopefully some people will be now more accepting. I know there won't be people because they're literal fucking crazies out there who are like, if you wear a mask, you're literally Hitler, and you're like, dog,
what?
please stop.
What?
But like, I don't know. I think people should feel comfortable with wearing a mask in when they want to,
Yeah.
because I feel like a lot of these things that bubbled up over the coronavirus around masks is something that American society has been dealing with for a long time, of like weird shit about how like if you wear a mask, that's a sign of weakness. And it's like, no, dude, if you wear a mask, sometimes that's just courteous. I remember before the coronavirus times, I was feeling kind of sick and had to go see my grandfather in the hospital. And I was like, hey, excuse me, could I have a mask, please? So I don't accidentally fucking cough on him and like
murder him,
give him my sickness.
A good plan.
But like, and like, I want more people to be like, oh, I'm feeling quite a little unwell. Not quite unwell. If you feel quite unwell, well, stay fucking home. And
Don't
give
come near
people
me.
sick leave so that they can stay home when they feel sick. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But like in general society, if you don't feel great, put on a mask. Also, there are other aspects of putting on a mask. Did you know that like the CDC was like, oh hey, people have been wearing masks, and so like seasonal allergies are down because they're
The
wearing
flu
something.
is down.
Yeah, the flu is down.
Flu is down.
Because a bunch of people put on masks, and that limited the spread of the disease.
It's literally like, I don't know. I feel like the anti-maskers like focal point from my perspective has always been like they got told to do something. I think if nobody told them to wear a mask, but they came to the decision themselves to put on a mask to save, fucking Granny or whatever from catching this deadly disease, then there would have been no fuss from them. But because the CDCs came out and said wear a mask, and then their fucking Trader Joe's told them to wear a mask, and they can't come inside until they wear a mask, then it's like
it's literally the mentality I had as a 15-year-old. Yeah,
there's a weird anti-government sentiment in America, and America's also very pro-government. So it's so strange to see that it's like pro the government when it does the things you want.
Well,
which I guess isn't that strange, actually.
That's the thing. Is like the weird. That's the thing that at least to me, has been the fucking catch-22, not catch-22 because that's giving it too much credit. The oxymoronic joke and doublespeak that a lot of right-wing politicians have been using for like my entire life, where they're like, I don't want government anywhere near me, but also the government should enact laws in order to ban people. And I'm like, but that's government influence in the public, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, what what do you want?
What are you looking
And
for
I know what
here?
they want. They want like a white ethno state where everyone goes to church on Sunday. But ignoring that fact, uh,
Right, crazy.
it's the same shit where they're like, government shouldn't tell me what to do, but also ban. But also, the government should tell gay people they can't marry each other, and you're like, dog.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems kind of like the government shouldn't tell me what to do, but I want to tell the government what they should do.
The government should do what I want.
Yes.
But and then the government, because they're doing what I tell them, what I want them to do. There is no scenario where they're telling me to do something I don't want to do, because it's all
Which
stuff
is
that
hilarious because like that's the thing is like they'll be like the Democrats and liberals want big government oversight, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you want the same thing. I understand why you want the government to do these things because you feel it is the government's job in order to enact things that the people want. And I agree with that sentiment. I disagree with what you want the government to do, but I agree with that sentiment. But it's kind of fucking hypocritical when you're like, this government overreach is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's the same shit that we saw like earlier just this week where they're like, Joe Biden's fucking crazy. He wants big government to do things like help improve the country, build roads,
Fix the infrastructure, cancel
and give
student loans.
jobs to people. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Oh, it's almost like the government is formed as a collective amongst the people who live in the
Amongst.
country. Or to
See, no, that was good.
Amongst us.
He avoided the key phrase. That was a smart play.
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nick. You can't even catch me on the. Yeah. I said amongst.
There you go. It avoids the trigger. All right, it avoids the trigger.
But like, it's literally that shit where it's like the current like. I mean, this has been Republican ideology for a long time, and
decades
conservative
at
ideology
least.
in general. Because, like,
Since
I don't
Reagan.
know if you know this, but
Since
there is.
Nixon and
I mean,
Reagan.
even if you want to go back, you can go to like conservatives like Herbert Hoover, who are literally who like economists literally shouted at him, being like, "Hey, dog, the government should really do something about this Great Depression thing," and he's like,
"We're gonna build a dam."
Build a dam and name it after me.
I don't know. The U.S. government intervening in economics doesn't sound right to me. And then literally everyone, a third of the country went homeless.
The free market will right itself.
That could be
Jacob.
wrong. That could be the wrong number. I'm sorry. Maybe a third of people didn't go homeless. I'm sorry if I got the Great Depression statistic wrong. But
you mean you don't have every statistic from the Great Depression memorized? What did you go to school for?
Yeah, obviously Herbert Hoover was a great president during the Great Depression. They literally named towns after him. All right, Hoovervilles.
They named it the Great Depression. It was the best depression.
So good.
Oh,
there were 2 million homeless people in the United States during the Great Depression. There, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, kid.
And that's a substantial number, regardless of if it's 30% at the time or not.
But yeah, around 30%, 25%. It was like 1 in 4. It's like I think the part that struck at home is like 1 in 4 people that you knew would be without a job and or homeless during the Great Depression.
But yeah,
statistically,
like statistically, it was like the unemployment rate rose to like 25%.
Yeah, which is insane.
And you're like, whoa. Oh no.
If you think about like everybody you know, and like 1 in 4 of them just doesn't have a job, and it's like just fucked, in that aspect.
Dude, I was looking at some statistics for COVID the other day for my area, my county, and here 1 in 11 people got sick over the last year with COVID.
God damn.
And I was like, man,
Not
that's my
yourself,
family and one other family.
Idea where?
Yeah. This was in New Jersey. And it wasn't even like the most like hard hit county. It was one of like the middle ones.
Sure. Yeah.
I was looking at one. It was like 1 in 9 people got sick. 1 in 7.
Yeah, there is
crazy.
Like, just wild. It was,
and I think the death statistic from my county was like 1 in 365 people died.
Damn, that's fucking holy shit.
Yeah, right. And you don't think about that when you hear one of those numbers on the news. They're like, 500,000. We're getting close to that at this point. Have died of COVID. You're like,
we passed 500,000.
We did. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not caught up to date fully on it, but It's just weird to see the numbers laid out like that because you think about that, you're like, that's like my family plus one other family. Someone got sick.
Yep. Yep. It's just how it be. These people make choices, and hopefully we're done with
I'm
it
trying to
though.
find the
We're getting
per
over
capita
it.
for my area.
I was
People did make
surprised.
choices.
It was like very surprising because like it's like a hindsight thing where I was looking at COVID stats last year, and like you'd see the fucking bar or the line graph like go up and down as day over day. And it's only, up until the most recent day or whatever. So like back in like October of last year, I was looking at it. I was just like, oh geez, that's like a good number of cases happening here. And now I'm looking back on like the last year's worth of cases, and like it was insane to look at how low the number of new daily cases were back in like October, and then like there was just
the next month in November.
Insane spike when people came home for Christmas and New Year's, and it was just like,
it's almost like COVID spread a lot more when people didn't listen to the health guidelines of, hey, don't
When
go
people were
around
traveling,
spreading COVID everywhere.
Yeah.
Travel is dangerous during COVID time. Don't just fucking yeet yourself around the country.
Here's some good news though. As far as current COVID, at least where I am, it is down to the level it was at last summer.
Yeah,
so
we're definitely
that's
on the downtrend, I think.
I'm still waiting to see how much of that is the vaccine and how much of that is just because it's warm weather again, like it was last year. That kind of slowed it down from spreading.
Well, wasn't it? No.
Well, I think it was less of the weather and more like you're more outside. You're not going to be
inside. Right. But the
so.
conditions of the season, I guess, is.
Yeah, it looks like I'm around where our county is like pretty much at the same point. Yeah, where it's like around May of last year. It's dropped down about to that level. So
yeah, so we'll see. I think the key thing we're going to be looking at is in the fall when people are going back to schools. And I think at that point we're going to need to find out if the vaccines are more effective than 6 months, because that's the current saying, and I believe the speculation, and everyone figures they are longer than 6 months.
Okay.
But we just need to confirm it by waiting it out.
It's gonna become like another flu vaccine, right? That we're gonna need to take every year to re-up.
Booster shots, maybe not every year. There was speculation it could last like 2 years or 3 years. We don't know yet. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but it's definitely not.
Yeah, but don't worry, polio's already coming back because of the anti-vax crew. So.
Oh no.
God, yeah, and that's the worst thing. Is like this pandemic was like just at the worst time where fucking anti-vaxxers were starting to be on the rise, and then like this
I mean, anti-vax has been on the rise since like the 2000s. It's hilarious that literally one defunct medical article about vaccine causing autism has destroyed the medical field.
It's all
in
it
this
takes.
country.
It's insane how
it's
one
hilarious.
Like fucking
Jesus Christ.
bad. It's like there are so many. Oh god, I remember watching. You guys remember that College Humor skit? If like Google was like a person or whatever, where it's just like people walking into a room and asking weird things to a guy at a desk. And it's like they had one of those bits where it was literally a woman walking in, and she's just like, do vaccines cause autism? And then he's like, here's like a whole stack of papers worth of articles saying that they don't. And
here's one
that
thing.
does. And she's like, thank you, bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I don't know. There was a great video by a YouTuber I watched called Filling Ideas, and he did this one about anti-vax and flat earthers, and eventually, because you follow those two trends, you eventually end up at QAnon, and it's literally like they're just people who want the
they want to believe that the world is out to get them.
They want to believe in the conspiracy, and they want to believe in the conspiracy theory, and they will move. They will eventually get bored of their conspiracy theory, and they will move on to a new one. And unfortunately, there are ample supply of conspiracy theories.
There's limitless.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like, sure, it's fun to, like, listen to BuzzFeed Unsolved and shit like that, and talk about conspiracy theories about, like, unsolved murder cases and stuff like that, about, like, what could have happened. But there's a difference between that kind of speculation into things that are, like, singular
That have actually happened.
cases, and versus, like, shit that's, like, there's a global cabal of people that are trying to control the whole world, and it's happening to you right now.
I mean,
it's
literally
into your bloodstream. Like,
not to change topics, but it's literally the Matt Gaetz thing of like QAnon believes that there is a secret like high power sex ring of politicians smuggling children across the country, and Matt Gaetz is literally under investigations for smuggling
We're
kids
doing the
across
same
country.
thing, yeah.
And they're like, I can't believe that they would frame Matt Gaetz like this. And you're like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You literally found the you.
It's like
literally found the
you were
secret
right.
sex ring
You were right
looking
about it, just
for.
not the way you wanted to be right.
The dude was an inside job, but you refuse to accept. That's literally like the shit that you look for. You look for inside jobs, but then when it's your job that it's inside of, then you don't want it. You don't want to hear it. Oh god.
It's like like, I mean that kind of like we already knew that it was kind of fucking bullshit, and it was just like excuses in order to do bad things and use it as a justification to be a bad person. But like, god damn, can you guys get better at it? Like, you're not even trying anymore.
Yeah, become like Joe Biden. At least like make an effort to have a public face. Yeah.
When's Biden canceling my loans? When's he canceling my loans?
It's not happening. He's not gonna do it.
No.
Like,
But I'm waiting to the last second anyways, just in case he does.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hope something happens.
I do not hold out hope, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, but also gotta maintain that status quo and ruffle as few feathers as possible. So
I mean, you say like, look, I'm not like I got problems with Joe Biden, but like, you gotta give the administration props. It is better like on some things than I anticipate. Like, I was like, it's Joe Biden. Nothing's gonna really change that much.
I
But,
like a lot of the things he's been doing.
Like I said, there have been a couple times. Like, I'm not gonna use the I cum joke as many like I did before, but I'm just gonna say, look, I did not believe when Joe Biden got elected that I would literally be sitting there listening to a pseudo State of the Union where the president of the United States says trickle down economics has never worked, as he stares down the Republican side of the fucking house, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby.
But is he gonna do anything about it? Right, that's the key. It's like
I mean, he
there is power in saying stuff, which is good.
Yes,
but, like,
A, there is power in saying stuff, and B, actually putting money into like, look, bailing out the states was a huge like. I don't think, as someone who pays attention to, like, my job is actually to read through state budget documents. These states were fucked.
Yeah, like, things got bad.
Like, if they didn't pass that fucking rescue plan, those states, they have no money. There are no there's like, these state programs like stop existing. Like, and I understand maybe you're like, that's just adhering to the status quo, but I don't know. In my mind, that's a huge win for states. There's also the argument of like, but I mean, my problem with Joe Biden's plans is that they don't go far enough. But at least I feel like there's some movement happening. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of, watch out. I'm gonna get aggressive, but I'm kind of over the like doomer shit where people are like, I knew it. Joe Biden's a traitor to the working class this entire time, and I'm like, like Joe Biden was a moderate this entire time, and he just basically swings at whatever he thinks the middle of the party is and what he can get away with. Like, yeah, I agree that that's not the way I think politics should work, but like, if he does something, like, I don't know, there was this crazy thing where like someone was like, I don't understand why AOC would ever praise Joe Biden for something, and I'm like, this is the doomer mentality that makes me want to chew my brain out when I listen to some leftists. Like, as someone who adheres to leftist politics and is basically an ANCOM in terms of my political beliefs, like, like, don't come around here with this fucking doomer shit of like, how could they do this? They like I understand it. You can say that about like they gave us $1,400 off a technicality because we already got $600 and those add to 2,000. I'm fine with you being like, wow, that's kind of shit. But also like come on, you got to give some props. Like put I did not believe in my lifetime that I would hear a US president petition the WTO to be like, yeah, can we waive all these patents, please? Because as someone who follows patent law a lot, especially over the last century, as an economist who also likes history,
It's
like
not something that
that is
happens.
not something that happens. Like this country loves being like company needs intellectual property because we swear this is about upholding the ability for the inventors to make money off of their inventions and not large corporations to hoard wealth. We promise it's not about the hoarding wealth thing, we swear. But in actuality, it's companies holding intellectual property for much longer than they should and literally hoarding not only wealth but the ability for other peoples to create creative prospects or build off of it. Like, I don't know, it makes me so upset when these pharmaceutical companies are like, oh, but how do we know that the quality of service will not be good? Shut the fuck up, Mitch. We know the quality of service will be good because guess who regulates? Like, they're literally saying like, we don't believe that the FDA should be regulating medicine, when it's like, no, dude, that's literally their job.
That's literally the only thing keeping you guys from fucking job. Performing experiments. The CDC shows up and
they also help out too. Yeah, exactly. Like these companies who literally like fucking took a bunch of US tax dollars were like, but we were supposed to make money off this. I'm like, dude, you're already making a ton of money off of it. You were the first people to develop the vaccine. There's something in economics, there's a term called first mover advantage, which is the idea that if you're the first one to do something, that gives you a huge economic advantage because you're literally the first one to do it.
Oh, yeah.
There's also it works. The copycat advantage too, though. If they don't do it effectively, the copycat can sneak in there and get a lot of profits. But
that's the argument. Is like, if a copycat does it better, like that's the thing that gets me aggravated. Is that there are people who are like, I think that the free market should help determine things, and then they're literally like, yes, but I think we should make intellectual property law literally like as stringent as possible. And I'm like, these two things are not the same. Intellectual property law literally gives companies pseudo monopolies for a certain amount of time. That's how intellectual property works. And I believe that there should be some amount of intellectual property law. But I also believe that the current state of intellectual property law in the United States is literally is bad and is a mess and strangles. Like in industrial organization, we created there's a classic graph that we learned about, which was literally like, here is the marketplace of ideas. Here's intellectual property like law. If you start like putting too much intellectual property law, you're going to literally have less ideas because people can't build off the previous ideas because they will get sued into oblivion. You need to strike the right balance. And my argument is that we're not at a good balance. No. We're at a bad balance. We're at literal companies being like, I don't know, I don't think we should give up any rights and nothing should ever enter the public domain. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Disney. You literally made all your movies off of public domain properties. When will I be
able to legally make Mickey Mouse porn? Alright? That's all I want to
know. Never, ever.
This is fucked up. This is literally 1984, if I can't legally make Mickey Mouse porn. It's really fucked up.
Don't hit me with the literally 1984 thing. I mean that, like, I've had that meme so ingrained in my fucking skull because of how fucking stupid it is. Like, it goes back to the fucking weird mentality of like, hey, I don't think that you should like be openly racist and hostile to people you don't, not hostile to people you don't like, but like openly racist or hostile based off of someone's skin tone or like any of that. And they're like, wow, you're it's not even that. Like, I don't think you should have a Twitter account if you incite a violent attack on the Capitol. And they're like, this is literally 1984. They're silencing my free speech. And it's like, no, dude, you fucking broke the terms of service. That's not 1984. That's literally
that's the free market is telling you can't do that.
Exactly.
You are signing on to this service that is owned by a company. And you were signing their terms of service, and then you break the terms of service, and then you get banned. And that's just how it works. Like, hello? Jesus fucking great. Have you
I
heard
mean,
about
I'm someone who
how,
believes
like,
that the government should be in charge of more things. So, like, watch out. That's going to get some people upset.
how have you heard about, like, politicians downplaying the Capitol riots, like, after the
Yes,
fact?
yes,
That
they've been
shit-
doing that since it happened.
Yeah,
It's
they've been
not
doing it since it
new.
happens, and it's hilarious. That one guy who was like, if you looked at the footage, you wouldn't be able to discern it from another day of tours at the Capitol. And I'm like, yeah, shit, dude. As someone
Remember
who,
that?
like, it's fucking insane that he was in the Capitol building and he was like, this is just another day at work. What are they talking about?
I guess he hasn't seen that video of the lady who tried to breach the doorway.
And got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's so.
What? Okay, sorry. I'm just looking at some articles trying to see if I can grab any good quotes from senators being like, it wasn't that bad, it was fine. But then that reminded me of there's shit going on with Liz Cheney, who's a Republican
Yeah, she got like
senator from Wyoming.
evicted from the church of her party.
Okay.
Well, she was the head of the House caucus, so that means you're like the third in charge, basically. Because there's the minority leader, who's Kevin McCarthy. Then there's the
Mhm.
whip. That's the person who's kind of like second in charge, and also the guy who runs around, or the guy.
He gets all the votes. He says,
he-
"We need you to vote for this. What can we do for you?"
Yeah, he goes to offices and is like, vote for this.
Mhm.
And then there's the caucus chair, I think that's what it's called, which is the head of the Republican caucus in the House. And that was Liz Cheney's position. And Liz Cheney was like, hey, I think the previous president might have been a traitor to the country when he incited a national a riot at the nation's capital. And Republicans were like, Liz, you can't be saying that. We
need him
would
for
like-
2024. Stop.
we need not even 2024, literally 2020. We need that lie to continue so that we can win back more seats in 2022.
Right. Yeah.
And she was like, no, because that's not true. And like, that's the worst part about this is I have to run around thinking about how Liz Cheney has the more high ground. Liz Cheney, daughter of war criminal Dick Cheney. I have to run around being like, I think Liz might have a point here. But like,
you know,
sorry, you talk. Yeah.
It comes down to, at least in terms of the last thing you said, you need whoever you can get on your side, right? You take anyone you can get at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of these things where it's like, I don't know. It's so annoying. Like, the more annoying thing is Republicans being like, dog, we don't believe that Joe Biden didn't win the presidency. We just support the guy who says Joe Biden is the presidency and reiterate his statements out to the public as if we did support them. And then you're like, but why'd you get rid of Liz Cheney? And they're like, because she didn't support a unified Republican Party and doesn't is clearly out of step with the majority of the Republican caucus. And you're like, okay, but what is she out of step on? She's out of step. And you're like, yeah, but the thing you're saying is she's out of step on is that she's saying that the former president of the United States is caused the Capitol riot and also is lying about the outcomes of the election and is a traitor to the country. And funny enough, Liz Cheney somehow right on all three of those counts. Like, I don't know. It's very bad. I don't know. I was thinking about this, and I know I was literally talking about like, guys, can we stop being so doomer out here? But literally, I was like, oh yeah, this is the same shit that like. I mean, it's hilarious. I literally have my copy of like Plato's Republic right over there, and literal old man Plato. I gotta stop saying literal, but fuck.
Literally.
This is literal because
Literally.
it's in the book. It literally. Fucking old man Greek dude, Plato and Socrates, they were both like, yeah, this is one of the issues in democracies is that eventually there will be a party who's only interested in the accumulation of power and suppressing power for others who do not support them. And they will continue to accumulate power, typically behind a singular despot who they pledge fealty to. And then democracy falls to authoritarianism. And I'm like, shit, guys, how'd you figure this one out?
Experience.
Wow. Kind of crazy. Oh man.
Like, BC levels of quick mass of like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're literally like just like, we don't care, we just need to win seats so that we can then create more tax cuts for wealthy people,
which we are.
Which we are.
Are associated with our friends and family.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry I don't have a drink on me to hydrate with. I will hydrate.
I'll hydrate for you, dude.
I
you.
spent the
Thank you,
hydrate
King.
coins like almost at the start of this
I
stream.
know, I didn't know if I should say anything about it, but I don't know. It's just been bugging me. I just don't have my water bottle on me. Thank you, Brad, for coming in clutch.
I was thirsty, and I was like, yeah, I should take a drink right now.
There you go. It's a reminder for everybody to hydrate. But yeah, I was looking at, what did Liz Cheney even fucking say that pissed everyone off? It's literally like what you're saying, like, hey,
it was
the guy...
yes, the January 6th riots were as bad as people were saying they were.
Yeah, but like part of it was just like, hey, former president has provoked a violent attack on his capital. On this capital in an effort to steal the election, has resumed his aggressive efforts to convince Americans that the election was stolen from him. Which just reminded me that Donald Trump has started up his own blog to continue to peddle his fucking
Dude, I didn't
stupid-
need to know that. Why would you tell me that?
yeah,
I didn't want to know that.
I'm not gonna link it because it's not worth looking at, but it's literally just like... I think they were advertising it as like a new social media platform, but it's just Trump.
Excellent.
It's literally just Trump and like nobody
Dude,
else
I hope
can,
they make it a social media
There's no
platform.
comment section or way to interact with it other than sharing posts to other social media sites, and it's like...
This is the Jeremy Renner app.
Yes,
do you guys
that's
know
exactly
that?
what I compared it to. Yes, there was a Jeremy Renner app back in the day. I will pull this up because it's fucking hilarious. Renner social media.
He just made the Jeremy Renner. He didn't even come up with his own social media app idea. He stole it from Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. It's literally, oh my god, fucking NYT. I know I should be supporting fucking...
That's,
Do you
yeah.
not have an account? If you have an account, you get some free articles, like...
Maybe
or you get
do.
more than usual.
I don't know. But basically, it was just a... it was just a social media site. That was just all Jeremy Renner all the time.
The only posts were about him, and it was you liking his posts, and you could like buy like, I feel like you could like purchase a token to get him to like notice your comment or something. I think that's what like the microtransaction for it was, and then that was ruled to be like illegal, so they shut it down.
What the fuck? Okay, so sorry, I'm showing it on stream now. This article about the Jeremy Renner site, and I think I'm vaguely remembering what happened to end it, and this post from him was explaining it, that like people were impersonating him somehow. I thought the app was literally just him though.
I thought that too.
A place for fans to connect with each other has turned into a place that is everything I detest and can't or won't condone. My sincere apologies for this to have not turned out the way it was intended. To all the super fans who have supported me with your words or encouragement. Oh, I guess people could post their own things. It's just that it all was
I didn't know that part of the story.
Just surrounding Jeremy Renner, because it was like just called the Jeremy Renner app. Yeah, the app was just called Jeremy Renner, as if to collapse the man, the brand, and his social...
Hey, dude, what are you doing on your phone? Oh, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, dude, I'm Jeremy Rennering right now. This screenshot of a notification from the site. Jeremy Renner, a picture of Jeremy Renner, and then notification underneath it. Oh my god. As most of his content was ported directly over from Renner's pre-existing Instagram, to the disappointment of some loyal fans, I'm left to conclude that the app's real purpose was twofold. One, to promote Renner's rockstar ambitions.
What?
Yeah, he has a fucking Spotify, dude. He like, I think there was
That's
a song
awesome.
of his that I actually saved at one point, because it...
Good for him.
Renner. Hold on. Do I have one of the songs? I could have sworn I did. Like songs.
Do you have one of my songs, Nick?
I don't, no, probably not.
Oh my god.
Wow, Nick doesn't have one of my songs?
Yeah, where can we find you on Spotify, Jacob? Please let me know. But
do
yeah,
I even have a Spotify? Oh yeah, I do have a Spotify account. Why did I say do I have a Spotify account? I think I'm dying.
No proof.
Reality's collapsing in on itself.
infested with fakes and trolls. I've been I have been kicked off the Renner app for running a deepfake Richard Kind account, repeatedly trying to ask Jeremy Renner for advice on how to get into the music business. My wife and I announced our divorce on the official Jeremy Renner app. Yeah, I guess this was literally. I didn't realize this was literally just. This is literally just an Instagram copy, like through and through, but just themed around Jeremy Renner, which is honestly way better than what Trump's doing. Like, let people just post on an app that it just has your name on it, but it's just a regular social media app. Such a good time. It's gone. It's gone forever. This fucking
Gone too soon.
fake imitator.
Just like
wishes.
this episode of the podcast.
Exactly.
Fuck
Bada
yeah,
bing,
I'm too good at
bada boom.
this.
What an ender. But yeah. So yeah, I think this has been another good episode talking about fucking Dogecoin to Republican politics once again.
We didn't even make it to the new Resident Evil game. We didn't get that far.
No, we'll have to cover it another time when you come back on again. How far into it are you? Just
All right, so I actually finished it because at work right now, because COVID is down, I don't have a lot to do. So I was just playing Resident Evil the other day, and I finished it.
Damn.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I went back and bought the 7th one after I finished the 8th, because the 8th was no. So my experience with it was I played like the first like third of it on my roommate's PlayStation VR.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really scary in VR,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah,
So I made it a third of the way, and I couldn't do it. And then that was the only Resident Evil game I played. And then my other friend let me borrow the second remake.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, now I get it. And then I bought the third remake, and then I bought 8, and then I liked 8 like a whole lot, so I bought 7, not VR, and I played it.
Yeah, dude.
7's a great game. I think
It is a great one. I think 8 for me I enjoyed more, but it's a lot more actiony than 7 was.
That's what I've heard. I'm still looking forward to 8 though. I just, in my opinion, I do think that 7 is like a secret hidden, like it
7
has
was
its
great.
flaws,
7 was
but
great.
I think 7 is like this. Like it was appreciated when it came out, but it is literally like especially coming off of 6, it's literally as if like the class clown / horror buff was like, yeah, okay, we did all that wacky stuff, but then he wrote a thesis about the isolation of rural America, and I'm like, like I wasn't expecting this from you, but you know, it's good.
I think 7 pays homage to a lot of like old American horror stories.
Yeah.
And what they do with 8 is they do a lot of references to a lot of old European ones, which I thought was pretty neat. So now I'm wondering what happens in 9. Well, there's some threads they set up.
I'm wondering if history is just going to repeat itself, because like Resident Evil started off as like a horror game, right? Like original Resident Evil was very much rooted in horror, and then as the games progressed, it got more and more actioning until you got to 6, where it was fucking ridiculous. And so
just action.
Well, yes, like 7 was explicitly that. 7, not actioning, but 7 was explicitly like a, hey, we're kind of like rebooting this a little bit.
Right.
This is going to be like the first person one, and it is much more horror focused.
Yeah. And so like I'm wondering if that's, so then you have that as like your horror starter point, like with the refresh or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in 8 you start to get a little bit more actiony, and then I
haven't played
go back
4
into the action stuff.
But I would compare it to 4.
Is like the biggest direct like connection to 8.
Yeah, I would compare it to 4.
They both take place in haunted Eastern European castle.
Gotcha.
Snowy. So is 4 snowy? I don't know. I want the 4 remake now so I can play it.
Not that snowy.
Okay.
But it is very Eastern European. But also it's Eastern European in the way where you're like, I don't know if this works, guy. Look, it only that stuff only shows more once you hit like 5, and they're like set it in Africa, and you're like, woof, this is not the look you want, guy.
Yeah. But well, we can discuss another time. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Peace out.
Good night.